Greetings. What do you need?
What's it like serving Lord Semin?
Well, I can't complain. And why would I? The old lord's such a good sort. I hardly ever get the chance to hand out a thrashing. And his son, older, well, he's just your typical young lord. He enjoys life, rides through the forests and hunts.
Does Older go to the tournaments? Does he know how to fight?
He's really good with weapons. Captain Gnarly trained him well, but he's never been to a tournament, as far as I know. His father kept him on a short leash, so he could take care of the estate and not go gallivanting all over the place.
We were attacked by bandits recently by the pond. Do you know anything about them?
I heard about that. And if you were there, you were lucky to make it out with your life. It never used to be like this. It was sleepy as fuck. But the woods have become a dangerous place in the last few months. And there's more than poachers depriving the wolves of prey, and nomads thieving like magpies.
I'd like to find those bandits and get revenge from my dead friends.
I'm not surprised, but be careful. We can't be everywhere, and even my lads aren't keen on going in the woods. What's worse, those rocks of ours here make it a bloody maze. We could be searching for cutthroats in there till Judgment Day.
Why didn't you drive out those nomads ages ago?
Like I said, our old lord is a good man and has a soft heart.
So he won't do it?
He won't. In fact, he recently got into an argument with the Troskovitz bailiff, Thrush. I reckon Thrush would string them all up outright if he had the chance. Fortunately, the only gallows are at Trotsky, and only Burgrave Harshek decides who to hang.
What's the Trotsky Burgrave Hashek like?
Quite stern and tough. He hasn't been taking any shit as of late, all because of those attacks and the bandits in the woods.
So he's in charge of taking care of those cutthroats?
Of course. As the Castle Burgrave, he's in charge of the safety in the region.
I'm looking for a friend of mine. A tall, fair-haired young man. Speaks like a nobleman.
Doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid. I definitely haven't seen him. Take care.
Greetings. What? Once wasn't it enough for you?
No. I want a rematch.
Forget it, pal. I'm never gonna scrap with you again. I've had enough for today.
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want to slamash? I'm near man of violence. Tradition has been honoured already.
Is it your custom to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard?
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a quick look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, no. It's not a custom where I'm from.
See? I learnt you something about Moravian ways.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znojmo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
Well, you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye. I wouldn't be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semin's great-uncle. It's not every day that your first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed, but that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semyon in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Yichlava. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koschenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Shellbergs in Kuhlberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I dinna care.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
Good day to you, friend. Good day to you.
Hail.
What are you doing with that thing? Are you trying to shoot me? Put it away now, and I'll take you in. Good, see? There's no need to be swinging a weapon around here. Get out of my sight!
What?
God be with you, Sir Knight. I'm Henry, and I serve the Lord of Lipa.
And which one might that be? You see, I know several of them. It's an old and respected house.
Well, my lord resides in Ratai, on Sasau.
Him I don't know, but I rode with the old Captain Chenyak of Lipa when Emperor Charles was still with us.
Well, forgive me, sir, but that's before my time.
Well, of course, half a century has passed since those glorious battles against the Hungarian troops. Ah, and all I'm left with today is debts.
You have debts. Why? Because of the war?
On the contrary, when my neighbor Deslav was on his deathbed, he begged me to deliver his inheritance to his nephew. But that troublemaker is all fighting in Poland somewhere.
A will is a sacred affair. But are you really going to go all the way to Poland?
Certainly not. I'll leave the money in the hands of a monastery and be done with it. Problem is, I incurred a bloody fine on the way and had to pay it out of the inheritance.
So you fought for Emperor Charles, the father of our King Wenceslas?
Indeed I did. My boy, he was a pious and clever king, and as cunning as the devil.
So you stand with Wenceslas too?
Always. The apple has fallen far from the tree. Young Wenceslas is just a foppish coxcomb. Well, safe to say, it's all going to the bloody dogs.
So, sir, fancy a game of dice?
Gladly. I might just get lucky at last. What game would you like to play?
I actually don't want to play anything. See ya.
waste of money. Didn't you hear that? The king himself announced that everyone should have a good bow on hand. Which king would that be? I don't know exactly, but when the king commands, his subjects have to obey, don't they? You didn't hear it from the trader who sold you the bow, by any chance? Aye. Come to think of it, it was him who told me.
Put it away! Hey, knock it off! If a god... Good evening, what do you need? Take care and good night. God bless. Yeah, thank you.
Whoa!
Good day. What is it you need?
You must be Zinnek. Am I right?
Who's asking?
Crazel sent me. He wants me to get the document they took from you at the rat house.
Well, good luck with that, brother in the trade. They took it from me with all the stolen stuff because they thought it was part of the loot. I told them I had it before I robbed that merchant, but they wouldn't listen. They locked it all in a chest full of other stolen things in the rat house jail. You can get there from the courtyard behind the rat house. It's right under the guardhouse. Or you can get there from behind the tavern, alongside the fence. As soon as you find the stairs leading down, you'll know you're in the right place.
Who has the key to the chest?
Well, actually I had one, but when the guards shook me down, I must have dropped it. It was in the chamber next door to the one with the chest. They've got a pretty soft bed in there, I tell you. The key must have fallen under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Almost every guard in Troskovitz has one. Take it from one of them who's got his back turned. Or one who snuck off somewhere for a nap.
I'll keep it in mind. Thanks.
Wait, before you go, you do know how to pickpocket, right?
I'm still learning.
Talk to Crazel then. He taught me everything I know. See you soon, my friend. You'd better go before people start to think you're trying to steal something.
I married a Czech woman, a wonderful, engelhafte woman. But she doesn't like it when I speak in meine Muttersprache. Oh, mind if I to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
Wish you a pleasant day.
I'll have a jug of wine.
Greetings. What are you here for today?
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
Pavlena? That's a nice name. Is she your sweetheart?
No, nothing like that. I'm just helping her mother find her. She's worried about her.
I see. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know nothing about her.
I'll have a look at your wares.
Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
Guten Tag, mein Freund. Komm herein.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Warum nicht?
Is this enough?
Well, if you offer a little bit more, we can make a deal. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen. Was möchtest du?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you are not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catherine. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trotsky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are a hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh, ja. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here. And Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Show me your wares.
Wie schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
So, this is your famous maypole.
I'm too conspicuous during the day. Better to try at night.
God be with you.
The Lord sees you.
That's a beautiful maypole you have there. You don't see that every day. I reckon all the other villagers must envy you.
They sure do. Them Geliovites try to steal it, but our fellas kick their asses. Why are you so interested in it anyway?
I'm from a small town myself, and I can appreciate a nice maypole. I remember having to guard it every year.
Tell me about it. A real headache it is. But for a good cause. Sorry. I'm just a bit on edge these days. And if someone had bad intentions, Henrik would show them how we do things here in Tachov. That's the one thing he's good for.
I wanted to ask about Henrik.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her, just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. Their village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thought of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
Why not? I can manage that.
He's not much of a fighter, but I reckon if you call him a vagrant or something, it'll surely rile him up. And I'll remember you did me a little favour.
Can I spend the night here?
We're not set up for that here.
Just the one night's enough. All I need is to spend the night.
For a few groschen, you can sleep on the hay.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
How you doing? I'm Henry.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zdeněk. I'm a storyteller. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
I know quite a few stories myself. How about a trade? A story for a story.
All right, then. But if it's the one about the magic porridge pot, don't bother. I've heard it 100 times. And that story always leaves me feeling hungry.
I know a romantic tale about a knight, his lady love, and 3 impossible tasks he had to undertake to win her heart. He had to bring her the sweetest wine, tame the wildest horse, and make a crown with the rarest gem.
And then? What happened when he'd done all 3?
Well, the lady of his heart showed her gratitude by giving him the most precious thing she had. And I'm not talking about gold.
Ho! A raunchy ending. That'll be popular with the lads round here. If I were you, I'd make it longer. To last a whole evening. Add a wicked stepmother, that sort of thing. It'll be a hit. And now, I'll tell you a tale in return. So what kind of story would you like to hear?
I like stories that can teach me something. Stories with a moral.
Haven't you heard enough of those in church? But it's not a problem. I have just the tale for you. And it's not one you'll hear from any priest. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Kuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, at the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, he began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, but Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
Wait, Matthias threw the silver axe back? What a fool! He could have sold it.
A fool, you say? You'd better listen well. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth, so he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself, so he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one." But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down whole to the dark depths, and drowned him.
Oh, that's so cruel. I feel sorry for Kuba.
Aye, and so did Matthias. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used the silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against a big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
Why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The Water Goblin's pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink. It was good to see you, my friend.
Good day.
Well, good day.
Praise God.